We actually do a lot to try and keep everything, every aspect of the CD like there in the live show, whether it's sampling stuff or like we also have another member that tours with us playing keyboards and everything to fill in like all the blanks that we wouldn't normally have live, so.
Install all these speakers for us, so we got surround sound waves. You got an Xbox up here, 360. Pretty much most of our time is spent playing Call of Duty 4, just against each other.
Yeah.
Actually, on Emery's bus, they got an Xbox too, so they have a card, so they want to pick it up so we can play against them.
That's a must.
No, Hyman usually sleeps up there. We do that like before every set.
Oh,
Tony? Yeah, I was definitely on the same page as Mike, more into playing music than I was in the school, so I don't know. Yeah. Hopefully it'll pay off that I played guitar instead of doing my homework. I skateboard lately. We've just been playing Star Wars in here, me and I.
Yeah,
We're gonna be a turtle.
he thinks.
What's up? We're Pierce the Veil. That's right. What's up? We're on Taste of Chaos right now. Second show. Come check us out if you get a chance.
Do that. Yes, Tony's right. Awesome.
Big old family.
Yeah. Except they're like
'Cause they're huge.
rock stars to me.
Yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of punk bands when I was younger, and then kind of got into punk and hardcore, and then as my band kind of stopped doing things, Vic's band was looking for a guitar player at the time, so kind of jumped into this project. Yeah,
We're stoked.
We've definitely been keeping our fans waiting for the next album, but we're gonna try and hurry up and do it on this break. We're finally gonna take some time off and just sit down, write the album, and go home and record it and everything. So be expecting that pretty soon.
Stage, trying to see
Trying to
where
figure out which
we need to actually come out.
I was like in the dressing room still trying to figure out where they were because I went the wrong way, so it's fun. Second day of this tour, we had a little bit of a break. Before that, we were on our headlining tour, the Delicious tour, and then right before that tour was Warped Tour. So I mean, we did 2 really awesome tours right before this, and you know. Yeah, you go first.
Go, Tony.
You go first. Happy birthday, Mike. Have a happy, good birthday. Happy birthday.
I mean, my mom was always pretty supportive of it, and she didn't realize till like now she kind of sees what's happening, and now she's like, wow, you are doing something with yourself, because for a while it's just like, all right, do what you want, and then now she gets it.
Yeah, the shows have been great. Even here in Florida, the weather's been a little intense though. We did one back in 08. We were on North Tour. The break was to write an album. We just finished writing and recording a new album. It's called Selfish Machine. Yeah, it came out about 3 weeks ago. Boston was nuts. Boston was great. I mean, I'm really looking forward to San Diego. That's toward the end of the tour, so our home show will be a lot of fun. Just so I'm not killing any animals. No health reasons or anything like that. It's just, yeah. Like personal benefits, like health-wise. I don't know. I usually feel a little worse. I have to like take vitamins and stuff to counter being vegetarian. So sometimes, luckily on this tour, the catering's awesome. So like, there's food, like good vegetarian food every day. But yeah, sometimes on the road, it's like we stop at a restaurant, like some middle America town. Yeah, and I'm like, I'll get some French fries. Like, kind of sucks. I'm gonna take a shower. It's been a while. Yesterday they had a huge, like, indoor stage and amphitheater thing. Same with the shower, like, that's what I need anyway. Yeah. Last song I was listening to was Kid Cudi's out, like, I just started to tour thrice. Oh, I was good. Sometimes I have like a little sliver of salmon. Yeah, like an apple caution. It's like nuts. What do you got? You got an avocado. Yeah, all the things to talk about, we just talk about. It's just, I mean, he's made. He gets rad angles, he's climbing on his stuff to take pictures, like, I think he is. It's still vegetarian.
Still vegetarian. I think so, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I've been vegetarian for a couple of years now. Just knowing and making decisions based off like what you can be a part of and help out with makes so much more difference. Some of my friends that still eat meat, like some of them will go to vegetarian places with me. Like even if they're doing that every once in a while, that's still like changing things. I'm really looking forward to playing some new songs that we just spent the last like over 6 months working on. So for some reason, every time I go to Target in San Diego, I see people at Target. So I feel like our fans like think like, dude, Tony just loves Target.
Tony loves Target.
Every time I go there, someone's like, will you sign this or will you take a picture? I'm like,
I like that song because I get to play a really cool guitar part.
Yeah.
Cool, just push-ups every now and then.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever.
That's something kind of weird. Yeah, I won't go in the sun very much.
Yeah.
Hide from
He's a
the sun.
vampire, but he's way too cool to be a vampire.
Hate the sun. But that's not. Your favorite movie is Scream.
And Toy Story.
What you're saying is you don't like it because it's not real.
I just can't. I don't know.
Yeah, this time we actually tried to plan for it a little better, so we have a studio set up in the back so we can actually like take the time to record the record on the road instead of having to, you know, stop and take a long break to write and do all that kind of stuff. So trying to work things out better this time. There's actually a time before that in our old band where I used to, you know, spin the guitar, and he came over to my.
the San Diego All-Stars.
Yeah, before that, where
Pee-wees.
it came down on top of his head, and I look over at him, and just blood just all
Yeah.
over his face. He had a cut like on the top of his head. It was
rough.
pretty intense. Yeah, this
good.
is the first time we've toured with them out here.
Yeah.
We've done like
In
warm
Europe,
tours,
yeah.
we've done tours
In the
like
States
throughout the
and stuff.
States, through Canada, everything, but never out here. So.
Yeah, so it's cool to be back. You don't know
we're
what to expect.
playing
so.
to so many new faces that we're kind of spending most of our stage shows trying to win people over
Mhm.
because no one really knows about us out here yet. So it's a lot different. So far, all the feedback on our last record was
Yeah.
extremely positive, and so looking back, like, you know, I feel like it was appreciated the way we wanted it to be. You know,
Yeah.
pretty happy with everything.
I think we're
in heavier bands before this band,
Yeah.
and
I
we've always had a lot of like metal and hardcore backgrounds. So
Yeah.
I think it just slowly crept its way in as we wrote more music with the other guys. Yeah, you know, just all the overseas like tours that we've done, we just decided we wanted to be able to share and be like not only share it with our fans, but be able to have something to look back on. So
When
we
get
just
old.
brought out, you know, videographers through every tour so that everything was documented.
Yeah, we definitely did it for.
With, you know, like, you know, hard backstories and things they're dealing with, whether it's parents, whether it's people at school, whether it's their own personal, like, you know, like internal problems and stuff like that. And I think over the years, reading letters and all those things, it's kind of built on us to where, you know, the only way we can really give back to them is to write something, you know, for them. Like, hey, like, you know, we've heard your stories and we feel for you. Like, don't give up, you know. Just want to help them. Yeah, it's definitely, fans are probably the most inspiring thing to me at this point, just because it does get rough being on tour this much out of the year and not like seeing your friends. So, and when there are people out there that appreciate us, that are cheering for us, or someone being excited at the show, like that means the world to me. Like that, when I walk off stage and people were into it, like what I was doing, it makes it all worth it, you know, like
Yeah.
versus, you know, if you ever have a weird crowd and they're not moving, you're kind of like, all right, well, I don't know what I'm doing here right now. Trying to make you guys happy.
Now that's constantly changing.
That's a
It's kinda
different
tough
monster, man.
because, you know, in the beginning when we get asked this question, you know, 10 years ago, because we're old now, but it was always, what we used to do is we'd, you know, hand out flyers, hand out CDs, we'd burn
Like
tons of copies of
analog,
CDs, yeah. Yeah.
actual. If CDs are still a thing when this interview comes
We'd
out,
sit outside of a venue of
CDs,
another
yeah.
show, like of a bands that we thought were kind of similar, and we just hand them out to people that were leaving. But now with the internet, there's got to be better ways to do it. So
Yeah.
I don't.
I've
Quite a few fans that'll get our lyrics tattooed on them and stuff like that, and that's a pretty powerful thing. Just the fact that anything that we, you know, wrote means that much to them that they want it on them for the rest of their life. It's
Yeah.
pretty powerful stuff.
I mean, I think I should be president, but I'm not in the running, so I guess I'll let one of them have it. I think they're too funny and too charismatic. They would take me out. I have no shot. Hey, what's up? This is Tony from Pierce the Veil, and this is my note to self. Beginning of high school, I was very into punk music, and I think my note to self would actually be to be more open-minded, because at that time I was just like, anything that isn't punk isn't cool, and it took me a while to get out of that and start exploring other types of music. And when I finally did that, I learned a lot more on guitar, which helped in the future too when I got into metal and things like that. But yeah, I wish I would have been more open-minded sooner. That transition happened through bands that were kind of bridging the gap between genres at the time. So I think one of the main ones was Thrice, the first band that was kind of punk and had that hardcore element too, and that kind of transitioned me into, you know, exploring metal and stuff like that. Well, I'm most excited for Texas is Forever, the fastest song we've done in a long time, kind of back to our roots with all the punk stuff we used to play growing up, but unfortunately that one's already out though. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah.
But that one's definitely my favorite. I'm pretty proud of that one. I always appreciate when our fans make like artwork, get like paintings, sometimes even like we've had like wood carving crafts and things. Like fans will go above and beyond and make crazy things for us that they obviously spend a lot of time on. So it's pretty amazing that they spend that much time on something just for us. I mean, it was definitely a slow and steady growing process, like gaining those fans and everything. We had, I remember some of our first shows playing to nobody, but when there were a few people there, we would hang out at our merch table and just try and meet and get to know them on a more personal level. And we've kind of stuck with that through the years, doing meet and greets whenever we can and trying to meet everybody. So we try and stay really personal when we can to kind of keep them, keep them focused on us and keep them interested in what we're doing. It was different. Vic does a lot of writing on his own, and this was the first time when we got to the studio, we wrote songs together in the studio. So we sat in a circle and just jammed for hours and hours and hours trying to like make songs happen. And it turned out that wasn't really the way we worked together as a band. So we had to do things differently and separate and start writing on our own while we were at the studio. And that part of it was a little bit more difficult. And then obviously once we finished instruments, there were a lot of other things that kind of slowed the record process down and made it even harder because we were going on tours and breaking up the record process throughout. So I have a habit of not talking in these things, and you just keep calling me out.
I'd like to include everybody, because if you just say a question...
It's been pretty stressful trying to, relearn a whole record, because a lot of the stuff we recorded and laid it all down 2 years ago. So we haven't, we
were young
had
men.
to figure it out until now. And then for Vic and I, we have to go through guitar parts and figure out, what he can sing and play and what I'm going to play and go through it all. And because a lot of tracks, there's more than just two guitars. There's a bunch of stuff, so we have to pick and choose what's going to work live. And it's been a fun but very stressful process trying to get ready for next year. Even Popeye didn't eat spinach until he had to. When you paint a room, are you making it slightly smaller? Tony and I play guitar.
All right.
Well, the video itself, the song itself actually is based off, Vic was hit really hard by the Paris attacks. So when we were trying to come up with a concept for that song, we didn't want to make it too serious or too dark, so we decided to go that route and give kind of a fun spin on a concept that has like a deeper, kind of more heavy meaning. Oh, that's Vic. He's had, it's about relationships he's had with people in Texas, right? He just kind of always circles back to a relationship he had with a girl there. And I think he said though that this record, he's done with it. He finally closed the book on Texas, so we'll still play. He just might not have any more lyrics about it, I guess. It's up to you. I have my back. It's not finished yet, but I can.
Oh, we like it in the middle. We like to get the whole scoop here. Oh my God, that's fucking gorgeous. Okay,
Yeah,
so who's working on it?
That is Justin Coda, an artist from San Diego.
Okay.
And yeah, we've been working on this for years now. It's just because the touring schedule, I never really have enough time to get very much done. And usually I get maybe 3 or 4 hours every time I'm home, which is months apart from each other. So it's been a long time, but someday.
And
There's an artist from San Diego as well, named Tyler Densley. And he just always, for a while he had a phase where he's just drawing really cool, owls and stuff like that. And yeah, I really wanted one and couldn't find the placement for it. And then eventually I was like, you know what, I'm ready to do my throat. Let's just put it there. And yeah, just went for it. It was one of the most uncomfortable ones because he had me laying on a table with my head hanging off the back. So I was kind of upside down, So I had to kind of tap when I was ready to sit up and swallow or anything like that. It was just really awkward. I have Star Wars on my knuckles. This is another piece with a quote from Han Solo based off Star Wars. Unfortunately, I got a big scar through it. I had surgery on my chest, so it got pretty torn up. But maybe someday I can fix it up. Another Star Wars one, a take on the Virgin Mary holding R2-D2, but it's Princess Leia's head up there. What else do I have? Oh, this one.
So Star Wars is your religion?
Pretty much.
That's kind of awesome.
This one, the first maybe 7 years that we toured as a band, we were in an RV, and my animal and my nickname has been Turtle for a long time. So I've got this RV shell on a turtle's back to kind of represent our first few years. I have another turtle. I just asked for a turtle, and the artist just drew that up, and I was like, that's really weird and random, but I fucking love it. So now I have an owl riding a turtle. I've probably had 8 or 9 sessions, and they've each been around 3 to 4 hours.
Very awesome.
I'm not ready to do that math in my head right now. I do have a big blank spot on my side, or this side, that I want to fill in, but I don't know what I'm going to put there yet.
Where?
But that's the more time goes on, the more I start looking at everything as holes that need to be filled, and it's
weird how that works.
We wanted to do something different because a lot of videos, that's all we've done is just put it out there, and we want to do something that built up hype. We want to do something really special and make a whole big event, especially since we're off tour and are capable of doing it right now.
Texas is Forever came from a riff that Jaime had on bass. And originally the song was stemmed just from that. It was this really fast kind of, punk rock song that Jaime. So we built the whole song based off of his riff, built this song. And in the studio, kind of funny because eventually his riff got cut. So even though it started based off his bass riff, that was the intro. And it eventually, now the guitar just plays that riff instead. Still, it created the whole song from this one idea that Jaime had. Some of Vic and Mike's earlier stuff when they were in a band called Before Today, it was kind of that style, really fast punk rock style.
That when we released Even When I'm Not With You, that was like one of my favorite songs from the get-go. I think we had that song done almost a year, maybe a couple years earlier than we went to track.
Really?
And we'd even talked about releasing that song maybe before, like being one of the first singles and stuff at one point. But I think it worked out because I don't know. I think it's one of my favorite songs on the record. Probably my favorite one overall. But I was always kind of nervous. I was like, I wonder how Pierce the Veil fans are going to take this.
Oh, really?
Because I think I appreciate that, like, the response has been good, but I was just wondering if they're like, oh, they're not a rock band anymore or something. But
right,
the response was good. I wish we did so I could explain it easier to people. Because I feel like anytime someone, if I meet like a random person, like, you're in a band? I'm like, what do you do? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in a band.
Right.
What kind? I'm like, rock band. And then like, well, what kind of rock? I'm like, oh no, here we go. Like, because I don't know how to. I don't know how to classify it, and I guess maybe that's a good thing. But I wish
so many subgenres, man. There's so many.
Call it. Yeah, I tend to just categorize it as alternative to most people. But yeah, I don't know. I'll talk about like post-hardcore kind of stuff because that was that genre that we kind of grew up on. And that's where we were kind of kicking off as a band. So
yeah,
I feel like we fall into that post-hardcore subcategory.
Certainly.
But then there's plenty of people that don't know what post-hardcore is, so then I don't know. It gets hard.
You're great. It's good to be back. Estamos. It's been too long. You translate for me. I say it in English. It is amazing. It's been good. It's been amazing first of all, it was amazing just to be able to tour again after everything that's gone on. But being able to tour and have a new album out, something we worked on for so long, and people appreciate it. Because there's that scary part. Every time you release music, you're like, they're going to like it? They're going to hate us? I don't know. But it's been good. Yeah, it was always the same thing for me growing up. He got Spanish. I didn't. I was the first generation that didn't get any Spanish. And so my older family all kind of made fun of me that I was like ground on the outside, right on the inside. So yeah, so that term that we're the most Mexican gringos is pretty good. It's funny because it was almost like kind of an insult when you were called an emo band, like at that time. So you didn't really want to be, lumped in with that. But now it's kind of like a term of endearment. Like if you're an emo band from back then, people appreciate it again now. It's weird how that word has switched on us. But I don't know. I guess it's hard to explain how we picked our path. I think our music just sounded a little different from the other ones. Like, with your instrument. It's not necessarily like, it's awesome that you say that. And then, it's not like we set out thinking like we got to make the instruments stand out necessarily. We just wanted to make sure they were there. And, we spent so much time with real instruments, like you said, and amps and pedals and us on the floor twisting knobs, making weird sounds and all that stuff. We just wanted real sounds and we wanted to capture as much as we could. So it's cool that comes through, because we never know how people will perceive something like that. And I definitely want to add, it's been amazing to see how many fans have still stuck with us after such a long break. And on top of that, like Jaime said, there's so many new fans. It's something we could have never expected. It's just amazing, man. I mean, there's been some things that were like spikes in our career, but overall, we've had a very steady, gradual growth as a band. We've never had anything that just, so there's been tons of things that we appreciate, obviously, but overall, it's just been kind of a steady slope. Oh, he did it. It was good.
There was that. There was the hurricane that set us.
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff.
We
had to be a train.
We like.
Shit. Right now, I'm going with Spider-Man. Make a movie?
Yeah.
I'd love to be a part of making Star Wars. Green Day's up there, Blink's up there. Mostly because that's like what got me into playing just on the speech. I don't want to kill anybody, man. No, but I like Voorhees a lot. Is that everything? Oh, really? Where'd you meet him at? Woo. I can't think of a cartoon character. Doug Funny. I gotta go King Kong on that one.
Man.
Even the crew, everyone on the road crew with us, they want to hear it. Like it's definitely one that a lot of people want to hear, including us. But
You think they'll enjoy it?
Yeah, it had been a minute since we had toured, and we had lots of really cool crowd photos, like from all of our previous record cycle. So we put those up all over the walls of the place we were staying at to record, and it just kind of
I remember we
helped us remember what we were doing it for.
getting in the